you guys, what is up? Welcome to my channel. All right, I am Brittany the gal with horses. So today I just wanted to go over like a short list basically of things that you need in the barn, right? So you may be a new horse owner, or maybe you had horses a long time ago and you want to get your kids' horses. So I run across that a lot. I run across a lot of parents that have kids that are a little bit older now, and they're like, hey, I had a horse at my pawpaw's house 30 years ago, and I don't remember anything, and now my kid wants a pony. Okay, so let's start off with the list of things that you may or may not need at your place for a horse, because I say may not because you may already have these things, or these things may actually come with the horse. So let's first start off with a good halter and lead rope. So you can go to your local Tractor Supply, your local farm store. You can go online and you can order yourself a good rope halter. Now, I personally love a rope halter for several reasons. It's a safety thing for me. So this halter can be taken off. There's a special way you tie it. So this halter can be safe. This is not a halter that you leave on the horse. Let me say that. If you want one that you leave on your horse, because maybe when you first get the horse it's a little bit harder to catch, you get a breakaway halter for that. And that means that this top piece here that's actually going to go on the top of the head of the horse is a softer leather, and it'll actually break away if the horse gets tangled in something, because they do that. They get tangled in all the things. So anyways, this halter will be one that you will use when you are handling the horse on a daily basis. Then you get a lead rope with a good snap. I do not like and do not recommend the halter and lead ropes that are actually connected. You'll see them in the store. They'll be tied on here at the bottom of the halter. I do not suggest that. Okay, get a good halter and lead rope, one that snaps on and off. That is a safety precaution. If you have your horse tied to something, and let's say somehow he gets this rope loose and he gets his leg over the rope, well, you have no way to disconnect this, and now this halter is tied on his head. So, halter and lead rope that disconnects. Get the breakaway halter if it's something you're going to be leaving on the horse. Get a rope halter if it's something you're going to be working that horse on the ground with. The reason why is because these rope halters comes with knots. Okay, some of them even come with knots on the top. These knots touch pressure points on the nose. So this is not a halter that you're going to be jerking your horse around in. This is not a halter that you teach your kids to jerk in. This is a halter you use for training, and you use it carefully. Okay, this is just like a training collar for a dog. You're careful with this. Horses are sensitive, and you want them to stay that way. Okay, so that's first. Next, you want a good lunge rope. Hold, please. A good lunge rope. Good heavy-duty cotton lunge rope, again, with a good hook. Okay, now my hook actually can disconnect, which I love, because I'm not always working with the good horses. Sometimes I'm working with the rowdy ones because that's my job. But this hook can actually come off, and I can put a new one on if this hook is broken, which can happen. But anyways, a nice, good, long cotton lunge rope, and this is what you're going to be doing your groundwork on with your horses. You can do it with a long lead rope, but really you want to learn how to use and utilize your lunge rope. Your kids, no matter their age, should learn how to lunge a horse on the ground, whether you're there with them if they're an itty bitty, or as they get older, they should learn how to work a horse on the ground. You should also learn that. When you've got a horse, no matter the stage of that horse's life, it can be used for exercise. You can use it for tuning it back up if it starts to have an issue. You can use it to let them get the feel of their surroundings if you're taking them to somewhere new. The lunge rope and working a horse on a lunge rope is just an amazing tool that you must utilize as a horse owner. So get yourself a good lunge rope. And in a few videos, I'm going to go over how to start lunging your horse. All right, next, when we start lunging, you'll need a good stick. All sorts of sticks. They come in all different lengths, different sizes. I'm pretty well a cheapo kind of gal. You're not going to see some very expensive tools in my barn. You're not going to see a whole ton of name brand stuff. You're going to see stuff that is used and usable. Okay, so a good stick. This will be utilized when we are lunging. And And you can also use it a little bit for trailering, but this is not going to be used as a whip, okay? It's used as an extension of your body. It is used to be energy to move your horse. You can make noise with it, but it is not always necessary, okay? Sometimes you need a little tap on the booty. Sometimes they need to hear a little noise, and that moves them forward. That's great. So, anyways, you need a good lunge stick. Some people call it a whip. I call it a stick. They come in all different shapes and sizes and styles. There's really no better one, honestly. Had them all. You see mine. Mine is the little fiberglass one from the Tractor Supply. Okay? All right, next. Feeding buckets. You're going to need them. Do not feed your horse with a bucket that has a handle on it and leave it in the stall. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is for fixing the food, and it needs to be washed because this was from breakfast, but this is from fixing the food and taking the food into the stall to pour into the bucket. Do not leave a bucket with a handle on it in the pasture for your horses to eat out of. See what happens there? Don't do that. But you need some feeding buckets, okay? Then, get yourself some rubber buckets for those horses to eat out of in their stalls. Feed your horse on the ground. Do them a big favor and feed them on the ground. When you feed the horse in an elevated bucket, that horse is having to put its jaw, its back line, or its top line. Everything is going to get out of place because they're eating up here. That's not the way they're meant to eat. They're meant to eat on the ground. So when you feed them in a rubber bucket on the ground, everything is in line, and you don't get their teeth grinding in a manner that they shouldn't. Then you don't start to cause pain through their back and their top line from them eating in an elevated space. Feed them on the ground. So, feeding bucket, and then bucket that they actually eat out of in the stall. Make those rubber. Again, they like to hurt themselves. Just go ahead and cut that off and get a rubber bucket to feed them out of. Next, get yourself a muck cart and a shovel and some type of pick or scoop or broom, something to keep your stalls clean. Okay? Whatever manner you want to do that. You can get a wheelbarrow. Mine hooks to the back of my lawnmower, so I can fill it up and then take it out and dump it in a hole somewhere, right? Next, a water trough. Get one according to how many horses you have or how many horses you want to have in the future. Don't get a 100-gallon trough if you have one horse. That water is going to go bad before the horse can drink it all. And you want to keep that water pretty fresh. So it's something that you're going to want to dump out and clean on a regular basis. I do mine once a week in the wintertime, twice a week in the summertime because of the algae, right? Water grows algae and bacteria. Next, some type of bedding or footing in the stall. I use mats. I have mats in my stalls, and I keep that broomed out every other day, and then I scoop it and put it in my muck cart. You want to keep your stalls clean, that type of thing. In the wintertime, you want to have heated buckets in the stalls or a heated water trough, or both. If you plan on putting your horses up in the stalls, you can get heated buckets. Then you can plug those in and keep them fresh, warm water in their stalls throughout the winter so that they can continue to drink. Or you can put a heater inside the water trough out in the pasture if you don't plan on closing them up in their stalls. That is a personal preference. You're going to hear me say that a lot in the near future. That's a personal preference if you decide to put your horses up or you decide to leave them out. They are pretty tough animals, but every horse is different, and every horse may need to be accommodated. Let's see, what's next? Oh, fans. Fans in the summertime. There's a fan right there in the corner. I don't have them on right now because they don't need them. When they come up in these stalls and it starts to get hot, they want to stand in the shade, I'll turn the fans on. It keeps the bugs away, gives them something, a cool breeze, keeps them from getting too hot. $10, right? Money well spent to keep a horse from overheating. Next, some fly spray for the summertime. And then last but not least, you want to have, and as far as fly spray goes, it's a preference, again, personal preference, whatever type of fly spray you want to use, but get some. And we can teach your horse later on down the road in a future video on how to be fly sprayed and stand still for that. Next, a first aid kit is a must. Must. You can go to your local equine vet, or you can call the vet that's in your area, and you can say, hey, I'm a newbie horse owner. I want to put together a first aid kit. What do you have that you can supply me with, and what do you suggest I have in that first aid kit so that I can keep my horse in a stable, in a stable situation until you get here, or I can do simple things, clean up simple wounds and cuts and such, so that I don't have to call you out every other week type of thing. So I'll go over my first aid kit in a future video, but the easiest thing to do is to call the vet closest to you in your area and talk to them about what they would put. And that'll also start to build a relationship with that vet and let them know that you want to be an active owner and you want to make sure that you are prepared for accidents, because they are going to happen with these 1,200-pound animals. Go ahead and prepare yourself for that. And also, when you buy this horse, before you buy it, have a vet check. If you've already bought this horse and you're listening to me say that, it's okay, don't panic. But I would go ahead and set up an appointment with your vet and have that vet come out and do an overall scan of that horse from top to bottom, front to back, and make sure that you don't have any issues that you need to handle now, or issues that may come up in the future. So anyways, prep your barn: halter, lead rope, lunge rope, a good stick. Get your stuff to keep your stall clean. Get your stuff to prep your stalls, your rubber bucket, your water bucket. I use my heated buckets in the stalls. I just keep the coils up under the bottom, the extension cord coiled up under the bottom. So I use my heated buckets all year round. They're just not plugged in. And then your fans, your fly spray, some type of bedding in the bottom of the stall. You can use shavings, whatever. I use mats. And get yourself ready, because we are about to go on a journey together of horse ownership. Okay. As always, please share this video, like, subscribe to this channel, and let me know what content you guys want to see, because I am a 16-year, well, longer than that, let's see, I'm 35, 22-year horse owner, and I'm here to share all that knowledge that I have with you guys. So hopefully this will be a beneficial page for you and for folks that you know. So welcome to horse ownership. Let's go.